Be around too much longer. No, come on, let's consider it. He beat cancer, a brain aneurysm, a couple Black Fridays in the market. He built a golf course from scratch. I mean, how much can a body take? Well, so far, Iz has been able to take an additional 15 years, 3 parties, and another bout with cancer. You know, Dad, I really want to say thank you. What do you want?
What you just read.
I'd really like to thank you, Dad, for having your party on Mother's Day weekend. You know, taking a weekend that's historically we would spend on me and many other fine women in the room, showing us how appreciated and wonderful we are, and instead, he made the weekend about himself. I don't know what else to say except it isn't even really your birthday. That was in April. As the Coonies have gathered over the years, it's become customary to incorporate a top 10 list for the guest of honor. Since my sisters and I are all very busy with our lives, none of us are much good at writing, and given the fact that we already have requested that Dad write his own obit, the poor guy was left to create his own list. And so, without further ado, may we present with you Bill Cooney's top 10 reasons for a roast of the old coon. But we've got a point-counterpoint by his doctors. So I'm going to introduce tonight, playing old coon this evening, is a guest appearance by Barrett Byrne from Missoula. Let's give it up! Oh, he's going to hog the mic from me now. Okay, point, counterpoint. Here we go.
Beg your pardon? Number 10. To prove that kind little gentleman in the 1931 picture on your party invitation could turn into the old white-haired curmudgeon that we all know today, from Billy to Bulldog, and sadly the decline is still going on.
Decline? Really? This is bordering on macabre, if not a bit maudlin. I think you mean recline, as in chair. Oh, God. Do we have to buy him another one of those chairs for his birthday? Let's try number 9.
Number 9. It will show that the runt of the litter could finally work his way to the top of the group. Although it came about as a result of him outliving the other siblings. He won by default, not with intellectual brilliance.
Runt of the litter? What the hell? The only runt of the litter in that house was your beloved Snooky. Snooky! You were the baby, the only boy, and if I heard the stories right, you were switched at birth.
Number 8. Establishing. Got a strong, you thought I was going to say didn't you? Got a strong feminine culture that dominated his youthful days, had a lasting nature, and he was eventually surrounded with brilliant, beautiful, and charming women, 2 by marriage and 3 by propagation. He really did lead a charmed life.
Well, it's only taken Dad 85 years to finally admit that women rule!
Beg your pardon? Number 7, giving hope to those heirs that you can succeed even with marginal academic achievements. If you have enough bull, know some of the right people, and have a health problem that will require abstinence from alcohol, before the alcohol can screw up those features, although it came awfully close at times.
I gotta get a drink here. Get a little drink there. So in other words, he's saying a line of shit and less alcohol equals the rest doesn't matter, especially if you make it to 85. And God knows at the end of this shindig, right, Rob, there's not going to be any money left. So drink up, bears. This is your inheritance. I'll drink to that.
Number 6, reveals what we can take place in the brain, someone that has been around for more than 8 decades. He can tell you such important matters such as the starting lineup for the 1949 Boston Red Sox, or what team won the Montana High School football championship for each year since he was born. And yet he has a difficult time remembering the trivial things like anniversaries, birthdays, and what he told you several hours ago.
Thank God those strong women were able to overlook that trivial bullshit. He'll only small talk with someone who will acknowledge his grizzly sweatshirt.
Number 5, brings out his fascination with hair, and particularly wigs, worn by women at huge gatherings, which reached a new level when he removed an elaborate wig from an unknown and shocked lady, and displayed it to the crowd as he was being awarded an Oscar for his performance.
No, was it really an Oscar performance, or was it back to that alcohol thing? There has always been a certain fascination with hair. Dad, we may never be gray, just like your sisters.
Maybe he was the only white here.
Number 4, unveil that his supposed talents as a financial advisor, sports authority, and sometimes journalist were really not what he excelled in during his lifetime, but playing in a sandbox would better describe his contributions to society. Certainly a better greenskeeper, they could use one in Indian Canyon, than a housekeeper. If only he could have a charmed woman in the way he cared for his beloved Breeze. He would be saluting a Richard Burton like instead of a poor man's Groucho.
So true, let's drink to that. Next.
Number 3, recognizing his willingness to spend lavishly when it came to necessities for his family.
Go to number 2.
The green, the 10-year-old Ford wagon, so aptly named, was just the right travel mode for the classy collegiate daughters. No convertible or sports car here. It burned more oil than a modern-day hybrid burns gas. Sheila tried several times to abandon the clunker, and to no avail.
Spend lavishly? Classy collegiate daughters? Are we back to that alcohol thing? Grand illusions? Hey, we do know how to appreciate a dollar, though. Doctor? Yeah. Dear Dad left us to create our number 2 and number 1. Number 2, his recap on his life. Alcohol, fascination with hair, more alcohol, a lot of women. Our recap, fiscal responsibility. Appreciate Frank Sinatra. Fiscal responsibility. College is a given. Fiscal responsibility. Oh, and Dad has always been right. And alcohol. Number 1, He has taught us that it is important to throw a party, always with great music, great people, great stories, and great alcohol. He lost the heart of his family too young, but has lived long enough to teach us that nothing will be more important than raising your own children, being a loyal friend, and learning to laugh at yourself. Now let's continue the party, the drinking, and the laughs. Woo!